Hey, what's up, guys? John here. Jerome Powell just admitted that we need to crash the economy, bring the economy to its knees to solve inflation. You don't believe me, do you? Well, the Fed's goal is to convince corporate America to enact a short-term hiring freeze, and it will keep raising rates and talking about aggressive monetary policy until that happens. Lower stock prices are his way of convincing C-suites and boards to do just that. Powell has been focused on a ratio between job openings versus unemployed workers and the core personal consumption expenditures price index. Chair Jerome Powell mentioned the ratio several times at last Wednesday's press conference, said Colas, who said job postings need to drop from 11.5 million to 8 million to get to normalcy. Now, I'm no economist, but you're in an inflationary environment and people are struggling financially to, get ahead and to keep the lights on to feed themselves and their families. You would think that you would want to actually keep people employed. You'd want to fix the problem rather than pushing people in an inflationary environment and then also putting them out of work. Now, people say, you know what, I've heard both sides of the story. We're going to recover. The economy is going to go back. Everything's going to be good. Everything's fine. But the other side is what I'm hearing strictly right from Jerome Powell. I'm hearing this right from the mainstream media telling us what they're going to do. What they're going to do is they're going to keep increasing rates and making it more challenging for small businesses to stay in business, no doubt about it. They're going to keep pointing the finger at business owners, saying that business owners are greedy because they're not paying their employees $20 or $25 per hour. What's always very interesting to me is that if you go to college, you go for 4 years or 8 years, you come out, you have an idea as to what your value will be in the marketplace. And the employer doesn't determine that. You determine that. The employer essentially matches what the market would pay, right? So if you are an engineer, let me give you an example, let me rephrase that. If you're an engineer and you're making $80,000 a year. Maybe you would come out and you'd make $50 an hour, right? $50 an hour is about $2,000 a week, about $8,000 a month, about $100,000 a year. So, in that range, 40, 45, 50 an hour, depending on where you work. Now, if you are working there, you would think, okay, well, for me to get that career, I would have to go to school and I have to do this, right? But nowadays, without going to college, the basically big bro is just going to point the finger and say, hey, unskilled labor deserves $20 an hour or $25 an hour. This is what they deserve. And they're going to continue pushing up that needle, making it harder and harder and harder and bigger expectations on small business until the numbers continue coming down. But it just blows my mind. Why would we do this in a world where we hear of inequality and inequity and we need to, make things more fair? Why would we do that? Or how could we do that at the same time as taking away jobs and putting people in an inflationary environment and increasing rates on people when people can't make it, right? Without stimulus, without unemployment benefits, without the, these little protections that they put into the economy, a lot of people are going to go under. And so I wonder, how does this make any sense? If you want to fix the economy, is this how you would do it? Probably not. At least for me, if I were running the show and I was in an inflationary environment, you'd bet I would increase rates and I would do things, but I would do things for the general good. And that's why a lot of people ask me all the time, "Hey John, are you left or are you right?" I don't stand on either side. I'm straight down the middle. In my view, left or right doesn't really matter. We're sitting in the audience, we're watching the show. What else we have to contribute is nothing, right? We're basically just bystanders at this point. And so I don't participate in either side because at the end, this power move, this whole thing that we're seeing right now in the economy is unreal. It's going to get crazy, no doubt about it. Housing is going to feel it. Retail real estate's going to feel it. Commercial real estate's going to feel it. The stock market, cryptos, everything is going to be impacted by what's going to happen with this massive change in the economy. This economy is going to get flipped on its head, and this show has only just started. The big question I ask myself is, how bad is this really going to get? We're looking at the stock market. I'm hearing a lot of, people panicking. People are really freaking out about stocks coming down, dropping 30, 40, 50, some stocks 75, 80%. We're hearing this, and we're seeing the panic, but the party hasn't even started yet. They still have 4 more rate hikes to go, and they're dead set on bringing these job numbers down, bringing the applications, bringing everything down. They're set on that. And so they basically have their foot on the gas and they're going to go as fast as they need to go to start to hit these numbers. And that's the big challenge here. That's why I'm like, okay, if you have cash, if you have good credit, you're okay. You're just going to sit on the sidelines and watch and wait this out, because I'm telling you, most people are struggling in this economy. Most people are really struggling. This is the time to get an online business. This is the time to expand, bring in new revenue streams, and to cut out frivolous expenses and liabilities that are costing you money every single month but creating very little value. Because as they start to really step on the gas, what's going to happen? We're going to really start moving. This economy is going to start moving, and you want to have cash. You want to be able to go out there and buy things. You're going to want to be able to get out of this depreciating currency and into something real, but not at today's valuations, especially in the real estate market. We're seeing these valuations today at sky-high prices because most people think that we're just going to turn the money printer back on and we're just going to continue going back up. And we could potentially do that. We could turn the money printer back on, but it won't solve the problem. It's only going to make the problem so much worse. And it would just be a very short-term relief, and then it's going to be an even bigger long-term problem. So that's why I don't think that they're going to do this. I think they're going to want to bring the job numbers down, like what Jerome Powell is saying. I think that they are going to bring this economy down, and I think that the economy is going to afford opportunities to a lot of investors. I mean, a lot of investors that are patient, that are smart, that are studying the market, that are not leveraged, that are prepared for what's going on. But the people that are betting on the get rich quick and hoping that they're going to be able to maybe squeeze out another 5, 8, or 10% on a stock investment or a crypto investment, I think those people are going to, they may get lucky, hopefully they get lucky, but those people may end up learning a very hard lesson. I think it might be better to see what Jerome Powell does next, because to me, what he's saying right here, he's going to do something. He's going to do something in a very, very big fashion. What do you think is going to happen with this economy? What do you think 30-year fixed rate interest rates are going to be, let's say, December of 2022? Drop it below. I'm curious, where do you see 30-year fixed rate interest going for a borrower around 700 credit score? So good credit, because what we're going to do is we're going to understand what people can actually afford, where insurance rates are going, where everything is going in terms of cost and affordability. People are only going to be able to pay so much to stay in that house. It's going to afford an opportunity for real estate investors. It's going to afford an opportunity for investors across the board to make great, great decisions. Now, I'm not saying real estate's going to crash by the end of the year, but at this rate, it would not surprise me at all. I would definitely think sometime in 2023, at least, maybe sooner, we're going to really see a big, big pullback in the real estate market. But drop your comments below. If they crash this economy, like what they're talking about, what we need to do is pull this thing back to earth, then real estate definitely can't stay where it is. Drop your comments below. Let's talk about it. Subscribe here. Also subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It's going to be a podcast and an interactive show starting next week. Also LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Everything's in the banner. I'll catch you guys later.